Good morning, everybody. Hey, Jean, welcome. Sorry I'm a smidge late. I wanted to get a tea. My daughter-in-law and I took the pups for a walk this morning, and I was ready and figured, well, hit my stuff, and thought, well, let's just grab a tea. Let's grab a tea. So I do have a flip through Friday on my little hashtag this morning, and I thought I'd show this one for hashtag Flip Through Friday. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can actually see what I am doing because it's a smaller book. This is a Pentalic, and they have really good paper. So I thought I'd start off with my flip through and then go into making whatever we're going to make because I haven't really decided yet. So we shall see. I started this book in 2017, in April 2017. So it's quite a few years old. And I started off doing the realism challenge, and I didn't go very far with it, but I would like to continue into that and turn the realism also into my watercolor because I want to expand a little bit in what I'm doing. So I did crumpled paper, the eggshell, and I'm trying to think of the book that I used for this. I sent it to my daughter, but I can't remember the name of it. Um, Popcorn, mushrooms, and I used Prismacolors for these. Cardboard. Hey, New Times, nice to see you. Seashells. So I started doing that, and then it changed into Zentangles, Zenspirations, and this is how my books usually evolve. They go from starting one thing, and then it's like, oh, this catches my eye, so let's move on to that, and let's just try that. So that's exactly what happened here, and doing the Zentangles, because back then I still had the Magical Touch Studio, and I put it back onto my banner. So, but I started doing a different type of technique, and I want to explore that one as well. So I will be doing that. This is one of the little mice out of a book, and I copied that and was working on different types of things. And let me just move along here so you're not here like forever looking at this book. So it's very windy here today, so you'll notice that I am sniffy, I am sneezy, and because I was in the air. I'm allergic to the air, but so I do sound like I have a cold, but I don't. So it should be interesting when I go to my doctor's appointment later. I like to do this kind of stuff too. This is a style of pen and ink and um, urban sketching style. I want to also do that. My son's bowler. It's actually green. I did a turtle. And we're into 2022 now. So we went from 2017 to 2022. And I just love, simple things, enjoying the process of just sketching, having some fun. Not my coop, not my poop. I had fun with those. And I found a northern flicker feather, which was kind of cool. I have a couple of those actually. And I know I'm a little early today compared to usually when I do come on, but this is I followed along with the Mariotier. If you don't know her channel, she does a lot of different types of arts as well. And she did these, and I did them my way. So I did a couple of those. Some flowers. Still like the different types. And then I tried doing sketches of people. This is an artist I seen on Pinterest, and it's YN. I can't remember her name, but I sketched her because she just had a really nice look that day. And I did some collaging back in the day, some more drawings. So I really like having the smaller journals because they fill up quicker because your page isn't as big. But saying that, I did purchase a couple of bigger journals. There's the allergy bug. I thought he was so cool. So I'm doing a little bit of a flip this to start the day off to tell more people come in, and then we will move into creating some stuff. But I did these little bug things. There's the TMT, the magical touch. So all kinds of fun stuff. I like edging my papers as well. So we have all kinds of different things, just playing, enjoying the process of creating. I did a lot of those. I didn't think I did that many, but I did actually. I have that book somewhere. I just can't remember where. So hope everybody's having a good day today. We're expecting snow tomorrow. Would you believe it? I can't believe we're expecting snow. I'm glad my appointment's today so we can get it over with and be home. But the kids have a show tomorrow, so they have to get up bright and early and leave and head to the mountains and pack up all of the critters and the animals and stuff that is made for the show. So they have all that to get done. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's pretty much it for that book. So this is one of my little sketch journals, and I hope everybody keeps a sketch journal because it is fun to do. And you do have a lot of versatility of using whatever mediums you want to use and fun like that. So that was my Flip Through Friday. And I thought I would continue on with a little bit of my watercolors because of I did have my paper already drawn, and I want to do a transparent watercolor. And what I'm doing is I'm working out of this book today, Transparent Watercolors by Olga Kolish. It's a really beautiful book. It gives lots of ideas, and I just seen that one and I thought, oh, that looks pretty. So that's what I'm going to go for today. I'm going to try and do that, and then I'm going to create a different background for it. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And I'm going to be using my Daniel Smith this morning as well. I got my brushes here all ready to go. And I did update my one that I did on Wednesday. That was inspired by Tamara Laporte. I updated the moons. I put the triple moon there. So I like that a lot better. So that's where this one's at. It's all dry. It's nice. I'm going to scan it and turn it into a sticker. So, alrighty. I've got my water. I've got fresh water. I'm going to start with my back petals, and that's usually how you build. You start in the back first and you work your way forward. So the back would basically be this one, and this one. And then we'll do this one, and this one. So they did pinks, but I think I'd like to do, I think I'd like to make a blue one, actually, like a monochrome style. And I think I want to use the new paint I got. So I want to take and pull the Mayan dark blue. I think that's the one I want to use. And I do have an empty pan over here. And I think I'm going to put it in that empty pan for just a little bit of paint. And that way I can work right out of that and add water to it. And I'm going to use a pipette wherever I put it. I put it somewhere. Oh no, I have a spray bottle. That'll work. Oh nope, there it is. I found it. I want some. I'll use the pipette and put some water in with my paint. So today it's very, very windy outside. I could not believe how windy it was. It's going to be this way for a couple of days. I put too much water in there, but that's all right. I want it kind of thinned down. We'll work with it because we'll be working from the back to the front. Hey, Janet. Good morning. Hi, View. Hi, Helen. Good morning, everybody. We're playing with a little bit of watercolors today, and I'm working with my new colors, so we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how they actually work. I should have probably wet this, but maybe I will on the other side. We'll wet it because they're supposed to be very thin. They're supposed to be thin. Let's grab a tissue under here. Hi, Maisie. How's everybody doing? Like I said, this is, I'm just learning this paint and it's how it's reacting, and I want to see how well it does on this paper. I am lifting up. It does lift very well. I'm using a Canson watercolor, so cold press. It does lift very nicely because I want it darker on the edge and lighter in the middle. So if you can't lift out, you can always just take your tissue and pull out what you don't like in the middle. So now we're going to work for the other back, and I did use a watercolor pencil to do the outlines. Now when you do these layerings, they will get darker where you cross over. So even like with your painting or your shading, wherever that is, it's going to pull out and overlap and get darker in that spot. So now I want to lighten up that center just a little bit. So I'm just pulling it through, wiping off my brush. Hey, Christina. It's nice to see everybody today. How is everybody doing? We actually have a 49-degree Fahrenheit here today. It's a little on the chilly side. It's a little on the chilly side. So I I'm playing in a transparent watercolor book, which is where I'm pulling this from, the information. I've seen quite a few videos of this on YouTube of people doing transparent flowers, and I decided to buy her book and give it a go because I really liked it. I like the transparent look, but I am going to do something different in the background. So it will be nice. It'll be a fun look. And again, I'm pointing my brush to where I want the pigment to go. So as I always say, always point it because that's where it pushes the pigment. You're hooked on an audiobook? What are you listening to? All right, now let's go to the next color. We're going to go to the front layers because these are the back three. So now we need to go to the front layers. And I should have watered my area. And I'm sorry I am sniffy, but it is very, very windy here today. And I overdid that, so let's just pull that off. Look at how nice that looks. I had a very wet brush. Let's get some paint. And let's do that again. Like I said, I've done this before, but I just haven't done it live. Ooh, nice, Janet. Hey, Teresa, how are you? It's gonna be a sniffy kind of day for me, for sure. So as you bring these front petals over, you'll see that you'll see the back and you'll see the fronts all overlapping. And I am going to put some water here for this one. Wipe off my brush. I put too much water in that pan, but that's all right. Just playing. I did my flip through Friday. Which I was going to do separate, and then I thought, I'll just do it first. Hold on one second. All right, it was sneezy. I have environmental allergies, which are everything that blows in the air. So I've had this for a long time. I've seen a lot of specialists, and no antihistamines touch it. Like literally, I can take up to 4 20 milligram each, and it will not touch my allergy or whatever is going on. Hey, Dan, nice to see you. So I've seen, oh my gosh, I've seen 4 allergists already, a dermatologist, a lung specialist, an internal medicine specialist, and they don't know how to fix it. So if I start losing my voice, I'm sorry, but I'm here. I'm here. And I'm making this go right over because when you go right over, you get the layering effect. And yes, I have been on antihistamines forever, and they don't touch it. So I can take. I've been on prescriptions, and it just is crazy. So it's not working. Nothing works. I've gone through at least 10 different types of prescriptions for allergies and asthmas, the whole 9 yards. So it's like, it is good to play. And that's basically what I am doing today. I am just playing. So you do this in your layers. You work from back to front, and you get yourself your outer layer working. So you have a variety of layers, and you can see the layers, and you can go back in and you can adjust. You don't worry about, you know, what you've done or how it went, but the layers is the layers. Like once you do the back layers, it's kind of hard to go back, but it does give it that 3D dimensional look. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Yolande. Should take stock in tissues. Yes, definitely take stock in tissues. All right, so now want to do something else. And if you don't have a palette knife handy or anything with like an edge, you could use a palette knife if you want. I've got this little tiny crochet hook sitting here. Hi, Susie. And I want to create some extra little lines going up. So I'm just going to pull this going up like this, and it will give it a different look. I should have done this while this one was wet, but I can go back over that top a little bit. I just wanted to have a little bit of a look. Even if I don't go back over it, I can still see the lines. And it gives it the three-dimensional look. So I'll put that back in my little jar. All right, now I want to bring this color in just a smidge. And I do have a lot of water in there, so I want to bring that, but I don't want to take away from the other petals that it's going over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it, but I'm also going to come back in with a wet brush and lift a little bit more of that out with my paper towel, because what happens is that goes down inside those lines then, and you get to actually see the veining. Yeah, I'm going to go along this edge because I want this just a smidge darker up here, because I want it to show, but I don't want it to take away from the transition down in here. But it gives it that light and airy look. All right, so I want to wet that just a little bit in here so it goes down into the veining. And you can see it go in, and then I will just pull up and go around my edge again because I want it to be darker around the edge. So even though it's not 100% done the way you're supposed to, this is what happens when you have, other ideas and you want it to show something just a little bit different. You can go back in and you can edge to make your petal stand out a little bit more, but then stop it before you get to your next petal because that petal is in front of. And you'll be seeing a lot of different things like this that I will be pulling up and doing watercolor. We'll be adding 3D items into our pictures. There'll be a lot of new things coming. And and just so everybody knows, I am on the last little bit of a way to hit my 1K. I'm so excited. I'm at 99. Well, last I looked, it was 992. I don't know what it's at now, but I am very close to that 1K. So, oh, that's good. Yeah. Get try it. Like it's a lot of fun working and learning different techniques. And so now that I've done that, I want to bring out the other ones just a little bit more because they are over the top of those. So when you're doing this, you have to work front to back. You have to remember your layers and just take your time and let it stand out. And remember to keep your tip of your brush to the edge of the paper, the edge of the item that you're painting, because if you don't, you're not going to get the paint going where you want it to, right? So always have the tip go to the line. And that's what I do. I mean, you could do it your way. No worries, but that's how I define and make the pigment go to where I need it to go. It is nearly there. Yes, it is. It's getting there. There's still some more things that need to be done to this, but it will work out just fine. You just take your time and work through it. I love watercolor. I have loved watercolor for a very long time. So now that we've gotten this far, there is the stamen, and there's also the stem. And the stem, I could do the same color as the flower, but I think what I'm going to do is take and work a yellow. I'm going to find my brightest yellow. And at this point, I think it would be Hansa yellow. So I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to wet my stem. I'm going to come in and grab some yellow. Your pet sitting for 3 weeks soon? Oh, Anita, if you there you go. Watercolor is a great thing to take. Now you could take your watercolors, you could take your watercolor pencils and a water brush, which makes life so much easier on the go. So now I'm going to bring in my yellow, and you're thinking, yellow? What are you doing with the yellow? Because we're going to mix it right onto the paper. Hey, Pete, nice to see you. How are you doing? I seen you earlier this morning, like really early this morning. So now I'm going to go in and I like my Antwerp blue. And I'm going to take my Antwerp blue and I'm going to go over my yellow because it's going to make a very nice green. It makes a very nice deep green. Look at how nice that looks. That is a very nice deep, deep green. Now, I should have made some petals. You know what? I'm going to make some petals. I'm going to take and put some water out here. Can't see it. I'm sorry. I can barely see it myself. But I'm going to go back in and get some more of that Hansa yellow. And I'm going to bring that into the water. And I'm going to put it here. And then I am going to come back in with my Antwerp blue. And I'm going to create my green. And I'm going to leave a smidge of yellow. Somebody's messaging me this morning. Ah, my son. So it does give a very nice green. And I'm going to get some more of that and bring it in and create my flower petal leaf. You know, that thing. I kind of like that green. That is a nice green. I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue. All right, Dan. Oh, that sounds nice, Maisie. I'm going to bring some more blue in and bring this right up a little bit more because it had quite a bit of yellow showing. We're going to do that there too. I'm going to extend that little leaf. And I love these because they're very much a granulating but transparent paint. Now, when you do select your paints, you do have to see which you are using so you know whether they're a staining or yeah, I couldn't. This green is beautiful when you use a bright yellowish and you use the Antwerp blue, which is a Winsor Newton. And It has a really nice shade to it, and it has the granulating effect, which I loved. So now we're gonna go back up to the flower because I needed the flower to dry a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a small brush because I wanna do some little lines. Oh, yes, I love Winsor& and Newton. Winsor& Newton and Daniel Smith play really well together. Between the 2 of them, they are a great pair. I am getting a new palette coming, and it should be here Sunday, and I am going to be setting up a new palette mixed with, special colors, mostly transparent. That's why I had gotten, um, some of the newer paints lately, because they're going to go into a new palette, and I will be showing you different techniques and, different ways of just using limited amounts of paint. I needed a drink of my hot tea before it got cold. All right, so now we're up to this point of we need to make the lines a little bit more definite. So I'm going to come back in with my brush, and my paint is it's pretty watered down right at this point, but I'm using a very small brush. And these have those lines that I put there, and I'm just going to just follow them along gently, very lightly, with a very little light touch, just so it shows. Because these do have, the center coming into there. And it doesn't matter if your brush splays a little bit. It's fine. Just let it do its thing. And just follow along your lines just to show the veining. So it gives it that petal look. Now I'm not exactly following her total description. All I'm doing is looking at the picture and doing my own little thing because I do need to make some little changes and add some little things along the edges yet, just to enhance our little flower petals. And I drew this flower my own way. Like I picked the same amount of petals, but what I did was just did my own little design, so to speak. I didn't do it exact. So there we are so far. Hi, Kathy. This is where we're at. And I love how that made all the little looks down there. And you can see the yellow coming through with the blue. So now we have the stamen coming up. And now we can either do it the same color or we could use yellows. But I think I'm going to go the same color because that's what's in the monochrome one. And I'm sorry for the sniffing. It's just one of them their days. So now this one, this flower is actually bent in here. So I'm going to add just a smidge of dark right there because these guys come down and this comes out. this like layers over. It turns. It's flowing this way. And these guys are flowing this way. So when you get to that point, now we can add the little stamen parts coming up. And I'm going to turn my paper upside down for this because I want to pull it this way. So they usually come up around there. And we're going to add a couple of them. We'll have some come off, some cross. And I think that looks kind of good. So now it has little edges on the little fuzzy stamen parts. So we have some down here, like the little seed area, and we have them up here, and they're just little pieces like this. And I'm leaving them darker because that's how you can see that they are fuzzier. And just letting my brush do its thing, whether it splays out or not, giving it that look, leaving a little bit of white. It's not a bad flower. How does it not run? It depends on how much water you're adding to. I'm actually now painting wet into dry and not wet into wet. If it was wet into wet, it would definitely splay and run. But I am painting wet into dry because my petals have dried. So that's that's why that is happening. And I don't have a lot of water in my brush. That is also another thing. You have to figure your brushes out and which ones hold the most water, which ones don't, and how much water you have into your paint, how much it's all the ratio of water. It's all a ratio of water. So now I'm thinking I want to do a little bit of making the petals a little ruffly. So, and this is where you can make your paints run if you wanted to. Now I just wet that, but I'm gonna make my little petals just a little not as it is a learning curve, and the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll get with what you want to do. So, and the types of paint you use sometimes make a difference because each paint, as well as they are each unique and individual, they all react differently. They all react differently. I'm just adding little bits here and there just to give it a curly look on the inside because I wet that first. And I just want it to bring out just a little bit more. Maybe not as much. Like I said, you can always lift, which is a nice thing. If you don't like it, you can take it away. And I've done that. If you don't like something or it's too dark or it's too light and it's just not what you want, you just wet it and you just lift it up and you just take it away. So I think that didn't turn out too bad. Now I'll show you the picture again of what I was looking at as I was painting. Oops, sorry about that. This is what I was looking at. This is the monochrome of the blue. I didn't do that flower. I did that flower, but I used that color and I didn't curl my petals. And I could have curled my petals, but I wanted to do something simple. So it's not that far off. Let's pull it over here. Make sure I don't get my book in the. It's not that far off. You can tell I drew my own flower. I didn't trace anything. It's very much similar, but very different. And that's how your flowers all need to be, similar, but very different. So that is something you can play with and have fun. And again, this is the book. This is the book. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a watercolor thing. I was going to do a background, and you can do backgrounds. You could do backgrounds first, or you could do backgrounds after. Backgrounds after are negative painting. And we're going to be doing a lot of that as well as more stuff. But I want to say thank you to everybody for subscribing. I am almost at 1K. I am at nine something, 996, I think. Let me just look. Let me just look. I was so excited this morning. And I was like, oh, I'm at 992. So it was like, oh boy, I was so excited. So it's very close, and we'll be having, as soon as I hit that 1K, we're going to schedule a wonderful little giveaway party, and we'll be having lots of little fun things, and we'll have some art and everything. So, all right, Pete, I'm going off too because I have a doctor's appointment coming up. So from my quiet corner to yours, have a wonderful weekend. I know it's a long weekend here in Canada, so if you're doing something fun, I hope you'd be safe, and I will see you all again soon. I may do an impromptu over the weekend, maybe on Saturday. So take care, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.